Lemuric heretical offshoot, the brethren of the sturgeon and the wrench. You know, I keep hearing about this guy Jimmy, and all I want to know is, why is it a capital offense to crack corn? And if somebody doesn't care, are you really gonna hang them out to dry for that? I mean, you get the impression like somebody got away with some massive crime and is like, you know, shitting in tall cotton over the whole thing, and I just don't understand it. Somebody get me an interpreter. You know what even frightens me more? Is that someone told me that that was Abraham Lincoln's favorite song. Talk about simple-minded. I mean, he should have been shot just for considering that the best song in the world. That's my opinion. I was working in this hotel washing dishes. First shift, I'd go in at 7 and leave around 3:30. And every day around 7:30, the Rump-de-Dump wagon showed up. The Rump-de-Dump wagon was kind of a funny thing where, you know, it pulled up and all the Rump-de-Dumps came out and just kind of, you'd see them all walking into the kitchen in a mob. Da Rump-de-Dump, da Rump-de-Dump, da Rump-de-Dump. And the Rump-de-Dumps were a good tax break, and that was why they were hired on. They didn't do a whole lot. They came in wearing little knee pads and, you know, would scrub the stainless steel till it shined. But other than that, the Rump-de-Dumps did do a whole hell of a lot. They kind of flaunt how special they were in front of all of us. They do these little victory dances, and they say, working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 to 4. Saying Sunday, got mine off. And we really got to resent the Rump-de-Dumps after a while because they got weekends off. But, you know, high price to pay for institutional living, I suppose. And, there'd be this little toothless guy who looked kind of like Wally Cox, and he'd be on the other end of the room flirting with the girls, and they wouldn't want anything to do with him, but he'd be sitting there with this big shit-eating grin on break, watching the girls like... And after a while, nobody really put up with his crap anymore. They gave him hell, and, you know, you'd hear him over on the other end of something, you know, throwing pots and pans around, you know, like, I hate this place. I'm gonna quit. And he said that with a lot of resolve. But the Rump-de-Dumps were just kind of an odd crew, and, you know, their time came and went. And eventually, you know, little toothless men whose heads kept bleeding kind of weren't really part of the fixture anymore, you know. They became more of a liability than they were worth. But I'll never forget those kind of proletarian Rump-de-Dump work songs. Oops, forgot a doop-de-doop there. Oh, the whoop-de-doop-de-doop-de-doop. And you might think I'm cruel, but imagine how you'd feel in a busy work environment with all these people bustling around and trying to do their job, and, you know, some particularly good-looking women, you know, throwing water in people's faces and things like that. And suddenly, out of the din and the commotion of a busy work day, you hear one guy say, "Little toilet paper? Well, what's that?" You know, some things eventually don't fly, and some things come out in the wash, and maybe it isn't fair, but you know, life is a flaming pile of shit that way sometimes. What can you do? Personally, I think it's all going downhill like a big pile of hot slag. Permanent.